Hi, everybody. This is Addison Shonlett at AirInsight. And my guest today is Duncan Bureau, who is Chief Commercial Officer at Canada Jetlines. Duncan, thank you so much for spending some time with me.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm really looking forward to our discussion this morning.
Fantastic. So Canada Jetlines, startup, very interesting. The timing is really great because the Stats Canada data shows a nice V recovery taking place, even though it seems that your Prime Minister strangled the air travel industry for longer than necessary. But we won't get into politics.
We could probably do an entire show on government decisions that impact tourism, economic development, cultural exchange. I have a very strong opinion about that. So maybe that's another show. But certainly the timing for Jetlines, we don't think, could be any better. Eddie Doyle and I started this project about 2 years ago, right in the midst of a pandemic. And, we had lots of questions about why would you start an airline in the middle of a pandemic? And the reality is the timing was fantastic for us. So not only were we able to attract some really great talent, but we were also able to acquire some very, strong lease agreements for our Airbus equipment, which is now in market, and we're flying today. So it was good timing from our perspective.
It's so interesting to look across the industry and you look at startups and you look at what's going on in the industry. It seems all ULCC or LCC focused.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, you're right. I think there is an underserved market relative to LCCs and ULCCs. Now, just to be clear, Canada Jetlines is not a LCC nor a ULCC. We're very focused on the premium leisure market. So, we're not interested in $49 fares. We are not putting a bus with wings into the marketplace. We have a really great product. We specifically took rows out of the aircraft in order to make it more comfortable for our guests who come on board our aircraft. Our stage length is a little bit longer. So we were very focused on service delivery, very focused on on-time performance, very focused on making sure that our customers were comfortable and that we had great products and services available, including things like power in every seat. We have a fantastic streaming system. We invested in Recaro seats, extremely comfortable, state-of-the-art seats and comfort level, very lightweight, which helps us obviously with our fuel burn. So there was a lot of thought put into our product. We are definitely not a bus with wings. We very much are focused on that premium leisure experience. And as you know, today it's minus 10,000, I think, in Montreal. And Canadians love to get out of the winter and head
snowbird thing.
Exactly.
It's interesting. Is your airline focused on Canadian origin traffic, or are you looking at destination traffic as well for Canada? How does your business model work?
So, that's a great point. I think by default, we would see a significant skew towards Canada point of sale, point of origin. However, in saying that, our Cancun and our Las Vegas right now, we're seeing a significant amount of traffic, point of sale, point of origin, Las Vegas and Cancun, which is interesting. But our business really does focus on Canadians going south. We would expect that 90% or more of that traffic, especially as we're starting to enter the market, would come from Canada. We are pleased to see a significant amount of traffic being booked from the US. And the obvious reasons for that is generating transactions in US dollars creates a natural hedge for us. Sure. Relative to foreign exchange. So we are pleased to see a strong position and a strong booking volume from the US. We are focused on Canadians. Our fleet is based in Toronto Pearson. And, for us, we will continue to grow out of Toronto. We've added our Cancun operation starts this Friday. We started Las Vegas, I think 10 days ago. So again, we're adding all these international markets that have a particular attraction to Canadians who want to get out of the winter.
Right. Of course, winter is only 9 months of the year for Canada.
I actually think it's 13 months, but anyway. So you're absolutely right. In the summer, as you well know, there's a massive demand in Canada. Canada is a very big country. It is definitely a long walk from Vancouver to Toronto. So that does play to our favor. And introducing service to Vancouver, we operate to Vancouver as well. So there's a tremendous amount of demand domestically in Canada. So in the winter, we'll repatriate those aircraft. We'll fly domestically into high demand markets where really the markets are underserved and overpriced currently. So we think there's tremendous opportunity domestically. And again, next winter, we'll continue to add markets in the Caribbean, in the US, and in Mexico.
So that's interesting. So on a seasonal basis, you're going to sort of change your focus, change your direction.
Yes. Yeah. You know, we like to think of it as a variable fleet where, you know, we point airplanes south when it's really cold, and we point them domestically in the summer. You know, Canadians love to explore this tremendous country. You know, we're blessed with an incredible country, a massive geography. And the fact is that, you know, we've gone almost 3 years now with people wanting to travel. So there's an incredible demand domestically and an incredible demand south. So we're certainly taking advantage of that.
Now, of course, you mentioned that the fleet word, and that, of course, is something that I have a great interest in this industry, because it's the great enabler. What do your company's on record at looking at the 321 Neo?
Yes.
That obviously speaks to all kinds of interesting ideas. Could you share any of those ideas?
Well, I think you would have seen a recent announcement by the CTA that we've been given approval to fly into a number of different countries, including Europe. And so, as you well know, the 321 has tremendous capability. It's economically, it's a fantastic aircraft. You know, Toronto, Glasgow would not be out of reach with that aircraft. And so it does open up other opportunities for us on the transatlantic. It opens opportunity for us further south. It certainly would open opportunities for a Toronto, Los Angeles, you know, Calgary, Hawaii. You know, those are the kinds of markets that are opened up when you start thinking about the capability of the 321. It also provides just really tremendous economics domestically and into sun markets in the winter by reducing seat cost, not only from fuel efficiency, but also capacity. So we really like that airplane. And, you know, it's certainly in our future. We like the aircraft. And we, as you know, we currently are operating the A320. We are very pleased with its performance, and we have 13 more of those aircraft in our business plan. And hopefully we'll be able to start thinking about onboarding some 321s at the right time.
Duncan, when you look at the 321, do you have a LOPA sort of defined? How much capacity do you think you guys are going to go for there?
Yeah, you know, we haven't defined that yet, but we will for sure continue our focus on comfort. And so we're not jamming people into that aircraft. It won't be a high density 321. It certainly would be a single cabin based on our business model. So we have some premium seats that have more legroom. And as in our fare bundles, you know, we package up boarding priority, we package up the extra space as well as luggage that you can combine with that seat when you purchase it. So again, we continue to see that opportunity where we will have those premium seats available. We have 18 seats on the 320, and I suspect we would probably maybe have 24 on the 321.
The reason I'm speaking or asking about the LOPA is because clearly the lighter the seat count, the longer the range.
Yes.
And you can reach all kinds of interesting places. And I'm thinking potentially if Air Canada can fly a 319 from Halifax to London, the 321 Neo can do all kinds of interesting things across the Atlantic.
All the way to France. Yeah.
Oh, easily. For sure. For sure. And you can go much further than the Caribbean going south.
Exactly. And that's, you know, you've really nailed it. That is exactly why we really like that aircraft.
It's an amazing market that Boeing seems to have missed, I think, up to now. The focus on the MAX 10, of course, is going to help, but that range combination is just an amazing technology in the hands of network planners.
Yes, there's a number of reasons we like that airplane. First of all, Airbus, the aircraft that we've onboarded have been performing extremely well. The Airbus to us in terms of comfort, cabin comfort, as you know, it's a little larger than the 737, particularly at the nose and at the tail. In terms of passenger comfort. So those are things that we took into consideration as we were looking at what fleet we were going to operate.
Right. That's John, the much respected and admired John Leahy's comment about that half-inch at the bottom of the seat where it matters.
It does matter. It makes a big difference, especially on our stage length. If you think about our stage length, we're not flying 1-2 hour stage lengths. We're typically flying 4.5 hours when you look at our markets today, with Toronto to Las Vegas and Toronto to Cancun, Toronto to Vancouver. Those are longer stage lengths. So passenger comfort is something that was incredibly important to us.
The next thing that I wanted to ask you about is it seems that the desire in Canada for new airlines is just amazing. You've got Flair, there's your company, Porter's reinventing itself. Air Transat, of course, is a player in your home market of Montreal, your personal where you live, and of course they're doing very interesting things with the 321 Neo. Then the WestJet is doing it. It just seems to be very carefully growing, and then Air Canada and Rouge just loom over everything. Are there too many seats chasing? Pardon, I don't want to use the unfortunate term. Let's just say too many seats chasing too few passengers.
Well, look, I think that this market, as you well know, is primarily, especially in the domestic market, is a duopoly, and has been for many years. I would argue 20 years at least. And so I do think there's opportunity for new airlines. I do think that the consumers are looking for choice, whether it's service failures, whether it's pricing, whether it's frequency, capacity, service delivery, whatever the reason is that consumers are looking for alternatives. We strongly believe that, introducing a product like ours will be absolutely of interest to consumers. Like I said, we're not trying to be all things to all people. We have a very specific niche that we're looking for. There's some great products. Canada's blessed with some great airlines. Air Canada is a great product. WestJet's a great product. Porter and their new Embraer fleet is going to be a good product. So we are blessed in Canada with some tremendous product. And I do think that consumers are looking for choice. Canadians love to travel. When you compare Canada to the US in terms of those, the percentage of people who hold passports, Canadians love to travel. They love to go south. They love to go to Europe. They love to go to South America. They're extremely well traveled. They're a sophisticated traveler, so they know what they're looking for.
It's interesting. There is a statistic that I've seen once before for Israel, where more than 100% of the population, in just volume terms, leave the country every year to travel. Yes. I wonder what the number is for Canada. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know the number, but my guess would be it would be extremely high. I think the stat in the US is 30% of Americans hold a passport. That number would probably be double that in Canada, if not even more. The fact is, we do like to cross the border, which you do need a passport for. Canadians like to travel into the Caribbean. They absolutely love traveling to Europe. And you have to remember, the population of Canada is extremely diverse. We have diasporas from countries all over the world, and people like to go home. We have a massive Indian diaspora. We have a massive South Africans, as you well know. And we have a massive number of Europeans here, Filipinos. We have ethnic backgrounds from all over the world. All of those people want to travel. All of those people hold passports. And again, it's one of those really great things about Canada is the diversity of our country, which creates demand for travel, and so both inbound and outbound.
And your airline is focused on leisure travel or business travel or both?
Well, we're definitely not a business travel airline. We would not have the frequency. We are absolutely not interested in competing with Air Canada on Toronto, Montreal, or Toronto, Ottawa. Even the frequencies into Vancouver or Calgary, we're just not that type of carrier. We absolutely are focused on leisure. We're focused on VFR traffic. I've learned in my career, never say never, but at the current time, our business model is not focused. Our business model is not focused on the business traveler. We want to take that business traveler on his vacation. When he's paying the bill or she's paying the bill, they tend to look for value
Right.
and opportunity. So it's different when the Bank of Montreal is paying for your business class seat versus when you want to take your family on vacation.
Sure. Duncan, last question, or last item I want to talk with you about. It's time for the crystal ball. 5 years from now, where do you think your airline is then?
Look, I think we're going to be operating internationally. We'll have some very strategic partners internationally with international carriers. We, in our own fleet, we will absolutely be at 20, maybe 25 aircraft. We'll be operating domestically with higher frequency into key markets like Calgary, Vancouver, Moncton, Halifax, Winnipeg, and we will definitely be serving sun destinations from multiple gateways out of Canada.
Thank you so much for chatting with me.
It's a great pleasure. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for thinking of Jetlines. We're really looking forward to. We'd love to have you come up and try our product anytime.
I'm ready.